Come with me on a photo tour of Harmony Hills Home and Garden. Let's see what's blooming on April 21st, 2023. It was a little challenging, actually, to find flowers in the front yard, but here are some leftover pansies from my Christmas containers. And of course, the front porch pots, all purple and lovely. We were able to find some flowers, just not too many. The window boxes are filling in nicely. I just love these Bordeaux petunias, supertunias, and the truffle of pink gomphrena is on its way to being lovely. I'm sorry I don't remember the name of this euphorbia, but it did put up one flower stalk. Some volunteer violas from last season. I'm finding these scattered all over the front garden this year. I tend to leave them there. And here is a beautiful geranium. And the Purple Sensation allium are just starting to open throughout all of the front gardens. This little walkway to the gate has some storm cloud Amsonia in it, and this is the first season I've had it, and it's looking really pretty. I'm sorry I don't know this euphorbia's name either, but this is Jack Frost Brunera, I know that. And Spot On Pulmonaria. The white azalea is in full bloom, and the Miss Kim lilac behind it is coming along. All right, let's go into the north side garden now. I'm really pleased with the way the north side garden is starting to fill in already. Everything is turning in really lush. Brunera by the gate is blooming. The garden right in front of the porch is just filling in so nicely. The violets are blooming, but the hostas are stealing the show, I think. It's just really pretty with all the green coming in. On the other side, near our neighbors, we've got the hosta portion is coming right along. I popped in some white violas just because I wanted a little bit of spring interest here. And the wood hyacinths are nice, and the heucheras color is so pretty. Hellebores ending their time, but still looking nice. This epimedium is gorgeous. This is the pink champagne variety. And I have one lone spiderwort in here still. I try to get it all out, but this one's still here. Little mouse ears hosta looking so cute. And the grand view of this is very green, very lush. Still room to plant though. And more hellebores. These are columbine. These are Biedermeier columbine. I've got some purple ones and some kind of raspberry colored ones, and they're gorgeous. I love these. All right, now let's turn our attention toward the patio garden and then the rest of the backyard. My patio table container is filling in nicely with the purple pansies and the trailing Dusty Miller. Here's a sweeping view of the backyard, patio garden, the tiered gardens, and what the whole yard looks like when you stand up at the top and gaze down. I've said it before, I've been totally in love with this patio wall garden that we created around our patio table. I'm so happy with the rock wall, and I'm so happy with the plants that are in here. These tulips combined with the candy tuft and the snow princess lobularia, it's just really just been so beautiful. I'll definitely be repeating this color scheme in the coming years. The candy tuft has really been going strong, but the snow princess lobularia will fill in the same way the candy tuft did throughout the rest of the summer, I think. And you can see the Furman's red autumn sage has started to bloom. One of the 4 shrubs has. The rest of them are still budded up and coming along. The hummingbirds loved this plant last year, so I'm hopeful that they'll find it again and love it again this year. The Purple Sensation allium is just starting to think about opening. And here's what this bed looks like from the patio area itself, looking down the hill. Oh, and before we leave, I do have some forget-me-nots growing in the cracks of the patio stones. Here's a Bobo hydrangea, just putting its leaves on, and still we've got some of those violets and lobularia. Oh, bleeding hearts over by the camera bird feeder. I love bleeding hearts in the spring, and this has just been so pretty. All right, let's look at the tiered garden now, the vegetable garden. The vegetable garden is at the top of the lawn, and it is leaf-shaped with bricks for veins. We got some Walla Walla onions and some garlic and some bunching green onions growing along the edges. These are pixie cabbages. They stay smaller than normal. That's a spinach leaf coming up through some alfalfa fertilizer. And down in there you can maybe see some little kale seedlings. Romaine lettuce in the grow bag and radishes in front of the peas. Buttercrunch lettuce and Simpson lettuce. These have been really yummy. I've got 3 kinds of peas growing, 2 sugar snap pea types and 1 shelling pea type. And the shelling peas have lots of blossoms on them, so I'm hoping for a good harvest. Among the tulips, I had some bok choy growing, but it's already gone to flower. So I'm going to let the flowers go to seed and hopefully collect some seeds. These are Brussels sprouts plants that are doing okay so far. And I have a potato patch going. I've got some red Norland and some Kennebec potatoes growing. And that's the status of the veg patch so far this spring. I'm pretty happy with it. The cut flower garden is in the middle of 3 tiers going down the hill, and it was set aside to grow cut flowers, but as you can see, I mostly have strawberries and tulips in here so far. These are Eversweet strawberries, and they've got lots of blossoms on them, so I'm hoping for a good crop. Here's some All-Star. We also have Ozark Beauty and Chandler strawberries in here. They're all doing pretty well. At the end of the strawberry row, I had room to put a few leeks, because why not? I've got 4 plants of larkspur interspersed with some straw flower seedlings, and there's some bachelor buttons behind the tulips. Alongside the bachelor buttons, I put in some snapdragons. And in between the tulips, I put in some foxgloves. Okay, and on the back side, there is a fence that runs along there, so let's take a look at the fence garden next. I have 1 pink azalea here and a Fothergilla shrub, and both of them are blooming just a few blooms this year. I have 2 white, snow white azaleas that are looking really nice. And then down at the bottom, we've got some double flowering quince. These are proven winners, and I forget the name of them, but they're beautiful this year. At the very bottom of the fence garden, we've got the Cherokee Princess dogwood. This is Cornus Florida Cherokee Princess. And then on the trellis, we've got Nellie Moser clematis. It's just starting to open up its blooms. The bottom tier of the 3 tiers has been designated as a perennial garden, but I haven't really designed anything here. It's mainly just a holding area for plants that I had to move last year, including these quinault strawberries, which are doing very well, and they didn't fit on the main strawberry row. I've been loving the white tulips with the white candy tuft and the white dogwood in the background. Now this arbor, when you go through it, it takes you into the back left, which is what I call the arbor garden. And at the base of the arbor, I've got these Cat's Pajamas Nepeta, which replaced some Walker's Low Nepeta, which was just way too big, but these Cat's Pajamas are just perfect size and so pretty. Straight through the arbor on the back side, I've got an obelisk with a can rose on it that needs some attention. I've been saying it for weeks. Way in the back corner of the backyard, I finally got some Lunaria to bloom back there, our Honesty plant, and I'm loving the purple. And then when you stand in the very back corner of the backyard and look up toward the house, this is the pretty view that you have. On the other side of the back behind the trellis, we have what I call the lower patio garden. And this is a new patio garden that was created last fall when we had some stonework done, when we had the walls put in. Making our way over to the lower patio garden, I have some more of this cat's pajamas. And then we pass by this pink azalea, whose name I don't know, sorry, and the Scarlet O'Hara Andromeda. So the pink azalea is a super pretty bubblegum pink. And the Scarlet O'Hara Andromeda, or Pieris japonica, is just finishing its blooms. On this fence, I have a big blob of Pyracantha, or firethorn, and it has lots and lots of little buds, which hopefully will turn into flowers and then will turn into berries. This pink azalea is gorgeous, and it really is eye-catching from every part of the garden right now. I have some Dicentra down here that is blooming really nicely. I'm happy with that. So soft and pretty. It's right at the base of a redbud tree. I also have some Akuba japonica and one more azalea that's trying to bloom. The redbud is just about finished with its blossoms, but the leaves are coming out really pretty. And there is the lower patio from the lawn area. Lots more work to do here. Now, leaving the lower patio and going up along the driveway fence, we've got some nice things coming along. These are wood hyacinths that I just put in last year, and they're showing such pretty blue bells on them right now. And there's really not much else blooming on that fence border, but I did bring out my amaryllis out of the garage, and one of them's getting ready to burst open and several more to come. Let's just take a sweeping look around the entire backyard. At the top of the hill, I do have some Firepower Nandinas, which are putting on some color, even if they're not flowering. And behind those are what I believe are wallflowers, which are biennial flowers that a friend gave me last year. Here's some beautiful lily of the valley blooming along the fence. Let's go outside the fence into what I call the courtyard garden. This is a little space between the driveway and the backyard where I have some beautiful blue phlox, a lovely white azalea, which was here, I don't know what kind it is, and a staging area for some pots and planters. The phlox is looking really pretty, and Hannah's favorite lollipop of a dandelion fluff. There are some straggler daffodils still blooming, but most of the daffodils are gone now. Going down the steps toward the driveway, it's a long driveway with a very steep hill that's really hard to manage, but on the hill we've got some beautiful blue things. Spiderwort, wood hyacinths, ajuga. I love the color blue in the garden, as you can see. It's all over my garden, really. We've got some pink wood hyacinths. I think those are actually Spanish bluebells standing up so tall there. And then down toward the bottom end, more ajuga with more wood hyacinths. Is there anything prettier than pink and blue in the spring? I don't know. I think every color's pretty in the spring, I guess. The ajuga is doing really well and holding in the slope on this hill. Thank you so much for joining me on this tour around our garden to see what is blooming. This was What's Blooming on April 21st, 2023. I hope you're having a wonderful day in your garden, friends, and I hope to see you soon in another video.